a question regarding a database of Kenyan sportsmen and women who win medals in regional, continental, and international competition. That is, if the government has such kind of a database or maintains such kind of a database, and if that database is there, then whether the cabinet secretary could be able to provide the current list of that database, or the Kenyan sportsmen and women who have won medals in regional, continental, and international competitions. Also, the senator will also want to understand from the CS for sports matters regarding what the government is doing to respond to the plight of retired sports heroes and heroines who, despite their contribution to the nation, are living in poverty and suffering poor health. So, this being a Wednesday morning, those are the two cabinet secretaries that have been invited to appear before the Senate to be able to respond to various concerns. Matters could be touching on county, inter-county, national, regional, and even international matters or concerns. However, that is not the only priority business that the Senate has set out to consider this morning. Remember, once the cabinet secretaries have been dispensed with, or the questions have been dispensed with, then the House has other priority businesses that have been lined out for consideration during this morning sitting. And this business is majorly on motions by the members of the House. The motion by the Honorable Senator for Busia County, Andrew Omtata Okoit, regarding provision of IFMIS reports for county governments to the Senate, is a motion that was concluded. Debate on it was concluded, done comprehensively and conclusively, and this morning is a question to be put. It will be resumption of debate that was interrupted on Tuesday, 28th of July 2026. However, it will be the question to be put for the House or for the Senate to be able to adopt its resolutions. Some of the resolution or its resolution include that the cabinet secretary in charge of national treasury shall on a monthly basis forward to the clerk of the Senate all IFMIS transactions and reports for each county government for onward transmission to the respective senators for information and accountability.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the bell for further 10 minutes.
The first 10-minute quorum bell has lapsed, and there is a provision for a second 10-minute quorum bell, so that is what the Speaker has directed, a 10-minute quorum bell to be rung, and that is what is currently underway. Of course, for the House to be able to correct, and it is a House of rules and has to adhere to the rules that are set, so that is basically what is happening. So once the senators are done with receiving the responses from the cabinet secretaries, they shall also consider a number of motions. The motion by the Honorable Senator Andrew Omtata regarding the provision of IFMIS reports for county governments to the Senate, and in this particular motion, the Senate resolves to have the cabinet secretary in charge of the national treasury to forward to the clerk of the Senate on a monthly basis all IFMIS transactions and reports for each county government for onward transmission to the respective senator for information on accountability and transparency in order to strengthen their constitutional oversight and promote good governance in the management of public finances. Now, this particular resolution emanates from the point that the senators indicate that the reports on financial matters from the devolved units that come from the Auditor General, Office of the Auditor General, as well as the Office of the Controller of Budget, come in a bit late at a time when the senators are not able to interact or have enough time or ample time to be able to interact with these particular reports from the Office of the Auditor General as well as the Office of the Controller of Budget. And therefore, this particular resolution or this particular initiative then seeks to give these senators enough time as well as be able to respond to these financial statements from the county governments timely, and also be able to fast track any measures that need to be taken. If you're just joining us, that the House is about to commence. I have seen more members have made their way into the House. We believe that the quorum is about to be attained for the House to be able to commence its sitting. And once that is ready, then the Speaker shall direct on the way forward, whether the quorum has been attained or not. And once it's attained, then the business shall commence. Also, the second motion, that once the senators are done with receiving responses from the cabinet secretaries who have been invited to appear before the Senate this morning, is that they will also consider the motion by the Honorable Senator for Kiambu County, Honorable Karungo Thangwa. This regards the promotion of artificial intelligence, commonly abbreviated as AI, and innovation policy in Kenya. This is a motion that is lined up to come up for a debate. That debate on it be or rather commence. And in this particular motion, the Senate will be resolving the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy develop a policy to promote artificial. Let's listen in.
Senators, kindly, Senator Mundigi, take your seat. Clerk, you may proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable Senators, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of 7 teachers and 35 students from Kaptagat Preparatory in Uasin Gishu County, who are seated in the public gallery this morning. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Uasin Gishu County and 1 minute to extend the word of welcome to welcome the delegation.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity on behalf of the House to welcome Kaptagat Preparatory School to the Senate on their learning mission. Honorable Speaker, and encourage them to take this tour and also learn the parliamentary processes, with the hope that in future a number of students who are seated here will also be occupying the seats in this House and the lower house, the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, and probably one will be the Speaker of the Senate in the future. So I want to wish them a fruitful visit as they do their study tour around Parliament and Nairobi. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Majority Leader, kindly take your seat.
Order number 3, messages.
There is another communication I need to make, Clerk. Senator Mandago, take your seat. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of 14 teachers and 33 students from Kapkomom Primary School in Kericho County, who are seated in the public gallery. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend the warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the Majority Leader to extend a word of welcome to welcome the delegation from Kericho.
Mr. Speaker, I'll begin by first correcting the record. The proper way to pronounce that name is Kapkormom. I know it's a bit of a challenge. This is a village very close to my home. From my house, on my balcony, I can see this primary school. So I'm very excited to have them here in the Senate this morning. I hope they will interact with the staff, members, of course, and learn one or two things about parliamentary procedures. So this is the Senate of the Republic, the students of Kapkormom, together with your teachers. You are most welcome. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, honorable senators, we had anticipated to host 2 CSs this morning for purposes of responding to 3 questions. The CS in charge of ICT and the CS in charge of youth affairs. Regrettably, the 2 CSs are unable to be present this morning for purposes of responding to those questions. And I will read the letter that they wrote to the Senate seeking deferral of these questions. The first letter is from the CS in charge of ICT, and I will read it for the record. Reference is made to the above question, which is scheduled for reply before the Senate plenary on Wednesday, 29th July 2026. I have reviewed the draft responses prepared by the ministry, and I'm not satisfied that they address the question with the depth and completeness it deserves. I have therefore directed my technical officers to undertake further work on the responses, and I kindly request that my appearance be deferred to allow them adequate time to finalize a comprehensive reply. In this regard, therefore, I propose that the question be rescheduled for reply on Wednesday, 5th of August 2026. I have spoken with Senator Professor Tom Agenda, Senior Council MP, who asked the question and has kindly agreed to the proposed deferral and the new date. I would be grateful if the Senate Business Committee could accordingly reschedule the question and I undertake to be ready to respond fully on the new date. Any inconvenience occasion is sincerely regretted. Yours sincerely, His Excellency Honorable William Kabogo Gitau, EGH, CS ICT. Now, the other 2 questions were directed to the CS Youth Affairs, and this is his letter. Reference is made to your letter reference number SEN/4S/5Co/Q/2026 into brackets 49, dated 15th of July 2026 on the above captioned subject matter. While the Cabinet Secretary, this has been written by the PS. While the Cabinet Secretary had looked forward to meeting and engaging with the Senate Business Committee on Wednesday, 29th of July 2026 at 9:30 a.m. regarding 1, question number 053 by Senator John Methu MP on coordination, equity, and sustainability of the youth empowerment programs, and 2, question number 069 by Senator Hamida Kibwana MP on provision of financial, medical, housing, and other social protection benefits to retired sports heroes and heroines. We regret to inform you that the Cabinet Secretary is unable to attend the scheduled meeting due to unavoidable official meeting engagement out of town. Please accept our sincere apologies for any inconvenience that this may cause, and kindly convey the Cabinet Secretary's regrets to their chairperson and members of the committee. We remain committed to engaging with the committee on this important matter and will be grateful for an opportunity to appear before it on a mutually convenient date. As always, your continued support and collaboration are highly appreciated. Yours sincerely, Mr. Fikrini Jacobs Katoi Kahindi, Principal Secretary. So these are the letters that we received from the two CSs, and therefore this morning we may not be in a position to proceed with the question time. In which case we will then have to move to the next order. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, provision of IFMIS reports for county governments to the Senate, putting of the question.
Clerk, do we have the requisite quorum? We do? So, honorable senators, debate on this motion had been concluded, and therefore I'll proceed to put the question, which is, they're aware that Article 96 of the Constitution provides that the Senate represent the counties and serves to protect their interests, determines the allocation of national revenue among counties as provided in Article 217, and exercises oversight over national revenue allocated to county governments. Further, aware that in the case of Senate versus Council of Governors and 6 others, petition number 24 and 27 of 2019, consolidated, of 2022, KESC 57 KLR, the Supreme Court affirmed that the Senate's oversight authority extends to both nationally allocated and locally generated revenue, concerned that the senators are constrained by lack of access to real-time to data from the IFMIS system from the respective counties they represent, thus affecting effective oversight of county governments. Further, concerned that in some instances, data and information presented to the Senate by the Auditor General and the Controller Budget are received and considered late as a result of the backlog, resulting into too much information not getting properly reviewed by senators. Noting that as a result of unchecked financial information and systems, county governments has continued to accumulate pending bills resulting from unplanned expenditures, accounted for and inflated costs of projects. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury shall on a monthly basis forward to the Clerk of the Senate all IFMIS transactions and reports for each county government for onward transmission to the respective senator for information on accountability and transparency in order to strengthen their constitutional oversight and promote good governance in the management of public finances. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, promotion of artificial intelligence and innovation policy in Kenya.
Senator Karungo Thangwa. That business is deferred. Next order.
Order number 10, motion, delinking junior secondary schools from primary schools.
The Honorable Senator Mwenda Gataya. That business is deferred. Next order.
Order number 11, motion, report of the liaison committee on the activities and operations of select committees during the 3rd session 2024.
The Chairperson Liaison Committee. The Chairperson Liaison Committee on the activities and operations of the Select Committee during the 3rd session and 4th session. That business is deferred. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, report of the liaison committee on the activities and operations of select committees during the 4th session 2025.
Chairperson Liaison Committee.
you want to do the 2025 one or 2024?
This business is also deferred. Senator Rice. Now, honorable senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until later today, Wednesday, the 29th of July, 2026 at 2:30 p.m.